Happy Wednesday, my friends. Welcome to another WedTruckSim and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I haven't played this game on stream in a while. Neither have I played ETS2 for that matter. Well, I can't remember. Anyway, point is, welcome, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you're going to enjoy today's stream. I have nothing planned in mind to be doing today, nothing particular anyway, so I thought, hey, you know what? Why don't we just drive around, I guess? Sure, why not? For that, I'm actually going to be using this car. By the way, I have loaded my save. I haven't played in a while. I have no idea where I am in the map. Where am I? Okay, I'm in Vegas. Yeah, I just literally loaded the save without checking anything, besides see if the game is working. So yeah, I didn't remember where I was. Alright, so I'm in Vegas. Where could we go? Where would be a nice place to go? You know what, why don't we, since I don't have anything in mind in particular, why don't I just drive around, like for example Colorado? Yeah, so let's head towards Colorado without setting a route on the GPS. And I don't know, let's see if I can manage to get myself over to Sterling. What's that guy saying in the CB? I don't know. Anyway, don't care. I gotta love the CB radio. Anyway, let's see if I can make my way to somewhere, anywhere in Colorado, drive around, and then, I don't know, maybe head up here, or maybe head down to Texas. I still haven't explored much of Texas, to be quite honest. And actually, I think last time that I played on stream, I was trying to explore around Texas. Which begs the question, why the heck am I in Vegas? I actually don't know why, how did I get here? Well, anyway, let's have my driver sleep a little. And should I bring a camping trailer? Nah. You go, Dragon. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for the follow. That is super appreciated. Thank you. And welcome. Actually, you know what? Since I am just driving around, nothing particular, I will use a camper trailer. Let's see. Trailer manager. Caravan. Yes. And let's use this thing. It's actually going to be a good opportunity for me to test out if the car is still wobbling like mad on American Truck Simulator. Actually, I have not tested if it is wobbling on Euro Truck Simulator. Also, I don't know if they fixed that wobbliness. So there's that. In any case, let's see. Well, first of all, where is my... Ah, frick, he's all the way in Sacramento.
Very, very, very low.
I'm not gonna drive there. Not to pick this thing up. Instead, I'm gonna use some red magic. Let's put the camera over here. And boom. There we go, there's a trailer. Alright. So if I want to go to Colorado from here, I should probably take the 15 and cut across whatever this state is. I can never remember what state this is. That's California. That's Arizona. No, that's Nevada. That's Arizona. That's... I don't remember what state this is. Utah? Yeah, I can't remember what state that is. Anyway, let's see if I can take the 15 without setting a route on the GPS in before I get lost. I mean, can you really get lost if you're just driving aimlessly? I don't think you really can.
Keep on turning your mic up, buddy.
In any case, let's see if I can make my way to the 15 and cut across whatever state this is, and then head east rather, not west, to Colorado. So let's do it. Lots of people here in Vegas. That is really nice. Okay, and I think I have to turn here. Yes. Yes. By the way, because I am playing on a Truck Simulator, I'm just going to be driving around aimlessly. This is most likely going to be a... excuse me. A more lean back and chill stream than when I'm playing Euro Truck Simulator, for example. Besides, I kind of feel like, I don't know, just chilling. Yeah, that'll be nice. By the way, I think this car needs fuel. No, it has a full tank. I was looking at the wrong gauge. What gauge is that? Temperature? That is temperature. You know what? I'm gonna run this red light if there's no traffic coming. Actually, never mind. I have a green. Nice. To be quite frank with you, I actually don't really like running red lights, even when there's no people around. Okay, am I on my way to the 15? I am not. I should have turned right back there. That's fine, no problem. If I take the next exit, I will be on the 515, and from there. Okay, so I take this next exit, and then the first or second exit towards the 15. And I think that will do. Oh, I haven't played in a while. This feels a bit weird. Just because I am not, I'm not accustomed anymore. Not as much anyway. Wait, 95? I thought this... Is that a 95 or 25? That's a 95. I thought this... Oh, God. I thought this was going to be the 515. Wait, where am I going? I'm lost, aren't I? The very first time that I visited Vegas in this game, I tried to find my way to the repair shop after finishing a delivery without using the GPS. I kid you not, I spent about 10 to 15 minutes more or less just driving around everywhere in Vegas trying to find my way. No, I can't change. Where am I going? Flamingo Road East. Exit to the 38A. Where am I? Where am I going? Flamingo Road, exit to the 38. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna pull over and check the map actually. I'm pretty sure I took all the wrong exits. So did I. I'm all the way back in Vegas. Okay, which path should I have taken then? Oh, right here. I should have taken this exit. Wait, right? No, hold on. If I had taken this exit, would it dump me here on the 515? Yeah, I think it would, right? Yeah, the idea would have been to end up on the 515 and then take this exit over here. Go around here and get into the whatever this road is. The 15. Yeah, and then head this way. That was the plan. Alright, in this case, I can take the next exit left, I mean to the right, and try that again by going around here, or I can risk getting myself lost again and go around here and try to take the 15 going through this way here. You know what, just because that is exactly what I'm going to do. So first exit on the right. Actually, there will be no exits on the right. No, never mind, there will be. It should be the one and only that should be available to me. And once I get there, I'm assuming there's going to be a ramp down, so I turn left. And at the end of the road, then right. Okay, I can do that. I can totally do that. Just gotta stay on this road, and when an exit comes, I'll take it. Let's go back to this lane. No, I don't think they fixed the wobbliness. The car is still wobbling at a high speed. Okay, here's the exit. So we turn right here, and now we head left. Green lights. Even when you have a green light, it's even in real life actually. It's always good practice to quickly look both ways. Just to be safe, you know. You never know when someone is going to be blasting through the traffic light. Or their red light. And believe me, I've had that happen to me a few times in real life. It is awful. Thankfully nothing happened. It was just a little scared. But nothing more. Okay, so now I should turn left. Yep, it's the only way to go. Have they remodeled this area here, or have I simply not been here in forever? I don't remember there being those lights on those trees. Actually, I don't remember any of this, to be quite frank. Yeah, they must have remodeled, and I simply have not visited this area of Vegas before. I mean, in a while. Right, that's clear. What is that over there? That's new. Hang on. Let's check that out. Oops, wrong key. I mean to press this one. This is completely new. Hey Ash, happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, this is new. This guy, I don't know. Would you be cheered if if a bald guy that appears to be in his 50s would be silently and with a very, very, very blank expression be trying to cheer you up? He doesn't have much of an audience, does he? We were about to say Friday. Yes, I was. Okay, so presumably if this is a concert, I hope they are just setting up because there's nobody here. Anyway, let's get back to the car. Somebody behind me? Good. Let's go. And yes, I was about to say Friday. I do have this thing where when I'm going to greet someone, I should not have taken a ticket there. I oftentimes mistake Wednesday for Friday or Sunday, Friday for Wednesday or Sunday, Sunday for Wednesday or Friday. My brain's all over the place. It's actually worse when I actually make the mistake and say the wrong day. And then my brain kind of freezes and stops responding. And I go like, for like half a minute trying to remember what day it is and what show it is. Oh man. Still, could be worse. By the way, out of curiosity, how many people are on the server? 132. Not bad. Also, speaking of bad things, am I lost yet? I am not? Question mark? I will be if I don't turn right. I close this thing. Ideally, you should be turning right here. There's no one coming behind me. I should be fine. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I'm checking my mirror, by the way. There we go. Just like I would do in real life if I had to. Although, not recommended. Okay, now I should be turning left. Somewhere. Here? I think so. Yes. I turn left here, and then I head up, and at the very end, the only one exit to the right. That's the one I should be taking. And then I should finally actually be on the 15th. I recently just got back to playing TMP. CD? Hold on a second, let me check. Let me turn here. Okay, I thought there was more road over there. CD hectic as usual, so I avoided the road. The update was quite nice though. I have no idea what they have added on the latest update for Euro Truck and American Truck. I pretty much have stopped checking the change logs, to be quite honest with you. I saw, however, that they released the Steampunk Paint Jobs DLC pack for American Truck Simulator. They made it available on the store. Previously, only people who pre-purchased. I don't know. The first people who bought American Truck Simulator at launch, they got the DLC as a bonus for free. Well, it was included, but still. Until then, that DLC was only available for those who bought American Truck Simulator early on. Anyone else after a certain date, they could not have it anymore. And now SCS made it available for everyone, so long as you pay for it, of course. Okay, there's an exit coming up. I think this is the one that I gotta take. Right? Exit 76A. No, 76. Wait. Wait, no. No, no. No! That's... I took the wrong exit. I don't want to go to the... Oh god, I was looking at the map. And probably a few other things. Oh, hang on a second. I have to stop. I'm all over the road. I am confused. I am lost. My high beams are on for some reason. Oh, Jesus. They revamped a few German cities, added a camera shake when you drive, revamped the DAF XF 2021 and XG sounds, which are kind of better than the old sounds, and probably a few other things. Oh, but that's only on ETS 2, right? It's the second time that by taking the wrong exit by mistake, I turn around and head back into Vegas, and on the same road also. You know what? I said I was not going to set a route, but at least just so I can finally actually make my way to the 15, I'm gonna use GPS and with a route set, because oh my god. Same with ATS also. Oh, so they updated Germany on ATS as well? Nice. I don't know what you meant. I'm just teasing. Hey. Okay, so wait, do I stay here? Do I change lanes? What the fuck do I do? Okay, I stay here. Right? No. I was supposed to take that. Oh my god. I probably should not be driving today. I am not doing very well in my head, apparently. I hope I'm not gonna have problems. At least I don't need to claim should I ask for directions. Yeah, apparently not. Apparently I am already doing that without you having to spend your tokens. And on my own, for some reason. Why am I doing this? They haven't changed much from ATS, but they added a new trailer. Adaptive cruise control and emergency braking. Wait, didn't ATS already have adaptive cruise control? I am 100% sure I have seen the settings that you can, unless I'm thinking, well actually I must be thinking of something else actually. No, never mind. In any case, I can't really use cruise control, not when I am driving a car anyway. Because if I do, this happens. And that annoys the hell out of me. Sure, I can remove the police LEDs, but I like the lights. A McDonald's ad? Ew. Gross. If it at least were a Burger King one, that would have been better. Okay, now I am not getting myself lost. Not that easily. Yet. Burger King is disgusting and should never be touched. It could be worse. It could be McDonald's. Oh, that guy is lagging. Oh my god, that guy is lagging. That's scary. Now, in all honesty, I actually do like Burger King. At least the Whopper. I do love the Whopper. But I do enjoy, and I think it tastes better. I do enjoy this burger, this very small family-owned, I believe it's family-owned, burger joint that there is in the avenue that I always take to go from home to downtown and back home again. I always drive past it, most of the times anyway. Their burgers and their fries are amazing. The burger at least is. I do prefer the fries from Burger King in comparison, but their burgers, chef's kiss, that thing. And they actually make their own patties. It's really, really good stuff. You mentioned about this burger company a few strangers. Yes, I did. They are really good. I highly recommend their burgers, and they are a very, very small business. Like, they don't even have an actual space to put up chairs and tables for you to enjoy your meal. They literally just put the tables, some plastic tables, on the parking lot of this business area, which is one of the reasons why they only open at night when the business in that area closed down, so they can actually use the parking area. So they set up a few tables, and you can actually even have your meal in the car if you wish. And they are super friendly also. I really enjoy it. I just wish they had Pepsi instead of just Coca-Cola and a few of the other more popular sodas. I do like Pepsi. Certainly more than Coca-Cola. I also really like Coke, but I do think Pepsi just tastes at least just that little better. It certainly tastes better as it warms up, unlike Coke, where it only actually tastes its best if it is freezing cold. Pepsi still tastes good even when it's not as cold anymore. I almost got myself lost again by taking the wrong exit yet again. If I'm ever at Brazil, then maybe. If you ever somehow, for some reason, someday end up visiting my city, you have to try that place if you like burgers. And if you like pizza, I can point you to the best pizza place you will ever find, probably in the entire country. Like, seriously, their stuff is amazing. And of course, you also have to try a churrascaria, which is, you know, a steakhouse. Brazilian barbecue is incredible. It's probably one of the best you're going to try. You're gonna have. Do they make chicken burgers? I think they do. I usually, when I go there with my dad, we usually order the same, which is what is the name of that burger again? It's the mammoth salad. Yes, mammoth salad. That's the name of the burger. I don't remember everything that comes in that burger, but it's really good. So I usually order that one and a portion of fries, some OJ for my dad, and Coke for me. But I do believe they do have chicken burgers as well. They have many options in their menu. And all of them are made by themselves. Now, of course, they buy the meat, but they actually season the meat and make the patties themselves. And if I'm not mistaken, although they don't make the bread themselves, they do buy what is the word for this in English? I can't remember. They don't buy industrialized bread. I mean burger buns. They buy from local business who hand makes those, and they taste incredible. They also make their own sauce. It tastes really good. Everything over there is great. I just had dinner before I started the stream, but I kind of talking about their burgers. I want to go there now. It's really good stuff. I really hope they succeed and manage to expand, because their service is really good, their food is really good. They deserve it. I bet I personally like chicken burger with some cheese on top also. Again, I don't actually know if they make those, but I'm pretty sure they must. Their menu is actually quite extensive for such a small business. And if you don't fancy a burger, you can have a hot dog instead. But not just a sausage in a piece of bread. No. We're talking about Brazilian hot dog. And if you don't know, well, it does actually. It isn't actually called that. It's just called. I am calling it that. Just because of how much it differs from what you might think, from what you might picture in your mind when you think of the word hot dog. At least in my case, when I hear hot dog, one of the first images that comes to my mind is the iconic North American hot dog. The one that you buy, for example, at baseball games, for example, where it is just the sausage on the bread and maybe a little bit of mustard. No, it's not that. You have the hot dog bread, you have the sausage, you also have tomato sauce, you have corn, I believe it's cooked corn, just not the corn on the cob, just the actual corns. You have some hay fries. They are not actually made out of hay, for the record. They're just called hay because of how thin they are. And depending on the place, you might even have some extra different toppings. And of course, if you want, mustard. Mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, whatever you want. It is a really substantial and rather heavy, actually, kind of hot dog. But it tastes great. I love those. Now, Mike, I need to eat. I need to eat now because I'm hungry from this burger talk. You're welcome! I'm safe from that because I just literally had dinner before I started the stream. Like, I finished my dinner just minutes before I went live. So I'm fine in that regard. I could use a sip of water, however, so excuse me for a sec. There we go, much better. By the way, if I sound tired, that's because I actually am tired. I woke up very early today for an appointment. By the way, where the hell am I? Alright, I'm still on course. We are in whatever state this is. I think it is Utah, but I might be wrong. I can't remember the name of this state. It is Utah, isn't it? Yeah. No, it doesn't show the name here. Yeah, I think it is Utah. Yes, it is Utah. I remember now. I saw a "Welcome to Utah" sign way back there. I think I could be remembering this wrong. You know what, I'm actually going to confirm. Let me ask my phone, in which state is the St. George City? In which U.S. state is St. George City located?
Utah has more than 60 major cities. Here are the first three: Salt Lake City, Ogden, and St. George.
Yes, it is Utah. See, I told you this is Utah. You doubt me. I'm just kidding. I was the one doubting myself. Anyway, yes, their burgers are amazing. And of course, you can order them for delivery. Except that if you order something for delivery, they will only sell you the burgers. If you want to order fries with your burger, they won't do it. And I actually tried that once, and then I asked why they wouldn't send fries for delivery, and they told me that it is because the fries they would get not soggy, but you know when a fry is no longer crisp because it has cooled down, you know, so it doesn't taste or feel as nice in the mouth. That's the reason why. That's what they told me why they don't deliver fries, only the burgers. And a soda if you are into soda, of course. Or beer, if you are into that. I actually don't drink beer myself, or any alcoholic beverage. But in any case, yes, burgers. I am going fast. Considering how I am feeling, tired and that sort of stuff, I probably should not be driving this fast, especially in a car like this. At least there's nobody around. But yeah, sometimes food can get soggy. Yes, and their fries don't even get soggy because of too much oil. Their fries are actually very, very dry, as far as you know, when you buy, you know how sometimes fries can be too soaked in oil. That's what I mean when I say that their fries are dry. Not that they are actually dry. It's just that they are not soggy in oil, or rather soaked in oil. That's not what makes them soggy after a while. It's actually their own vapor inside of the container, because it can't actually evaporate into the air. It gets condensed. So that pretty much wets the fries, and that's how they get soggy. I might as well make some burgers tomorrow. That is an incredible idea, and if you do, Ash, do email me a few. I love meat. What I just said makes no sense in the context of sending food to someone. I don't know, maybe when we have replicators like they do in Star Trek, then maybe you can send, like, I don't know, a file over email so you can replicate that on your replicator. I'm not saying anything that makes sense today. It sounds much better in your head. Yeah. Well, to be quite honest, the first thing that I thought about saying was actually for you to fax me some burgers. Now that would be even more absurd. By the way, my car just passed the 360,000 miles. Nice. Let's celebrate. Hey, the car has driven a long distance. Whee! I actually have no idea how much distance that actually is, because my brain is hardwired for the metric system. I'm gonna ask my phone. 360,000 miles, 2 kilometers.
3,600,000 miles is 5.794 times 10 to the 6 kilometers.
Excuse me, I don't remember saying 360 million miles. 360,000 miles, 2 kilometers.
360 miles is equal to 579.364 kilometers.
I did not ask 360 million. I did not ask 360. I asked 360,000. Did I not? I'm gonna ask you one more time, phone. You better give me the proper answer. Unlike now, and unlike the other day, when you said something about putting putting wet man on something. I can't really remember. I can't even remember. Anyway, 360,000 miles to kilometers.
3,600,000 miles is 5.794 times 10 to the 6 kilometers.
Okay. English is not my first language. That is not a secret. Portuguese is. As such, I'm pretty sure it is safe to say that I do have at least some accent. But I am very certain that there is no way whatever I said could have possibly have sounded like 360 million. I mean, there is a very distinct difference between million, the word million, and the word thousand. Isn't there? Siri just being stupid. Right, I am 100% sure that if this was my Lumia phone running Windows 10 Mobile and Cortana, she would have understood me perfectly. I actually never ever had any difficulties in having the assistant Cortana on my old Lumia understanding anything that I said. Actually, I could even just ask, "Hey Cortana, make a reminder. Remind me to put more time on the parking meter, for example." I didn't actually say for example. Remind me, make a reminder. Add more time to the parking meter in 2 hours. And Cortana, with these, generally speaking, vague orders, she would 100% of the times understand that 1. I wanted to make a reminder. 2. The reminder should contain the phrase "add more time to the parking meter," and 3. That I wanted to be reminded of that in 2 hours from the moment I gave the order to make the reminder. And that was it. All I had to do was press the button to talk, because I had the listen all the time disabled, and say, "Make a reminder. Remind me to add more time to the parking meter in 2 hours." Or I could just say instead, "Remind me to add more time to the parking meter in 2 hours." And she would every single one of those times understand that I wanted a reminder. I wanted to be reminded to add more time to the parking meter, and that I wanted to be reminded in 2 hours. It was perfect. And this, I hate this. No, I'm running Android, but Siri would be just as stupid. She would be. I'm gonna try one last time. 360,000 miles to kilometers.
Since mobile data is turned off, you'll have to connect to a Wi-Fi network first.
What the hell? You know why she said she doesn't have an internet connection right now? It's the same reason why printers tell you they cannot print anything because they are out of color ink in the cartridge, even though what you want to print is 100% black. It's just because they can, but they just don't want to. Oh my god, I hate Android. I hate... can we please get Windows Phone back? That thing was so good. It had so much potential. Cortana was actually quite useful, to be honest. I used to have a Lumia 630, though I got this phone when Windows phones were pretty much dead. Cortana on mobile was incredible, I tell you. I use Cortana on mobile all the time to make reminders and that sort of stuff. And I gave up on making reminders on my phone when I had to switch to Android. Honestly, if I could, I would still be using Windows 10 Mobile. And I hate Windows 10, but Windows 10 Mobile, that was chef's kiss. Best operating system that I've ever had on phones. Even better, well, obviously it was better than Symbian, and I loved Symbian, but it's definitely 100% better than Android. I have been using Android now for what? 4 years now, maybe 5 more or less, since Microsoft dropped support to Windows 10 Mobile completely. And I still hate this thing. The only reason why I use it is because I have to. Now, sure, you could say, oh, Mike, just buy an iPhone instead then. One, I don't like iPhones. Two, I would have to sell 2 kidneys, half an eye, and I don't know, probably half a liver if I want to afford an iPhone, since you can buy a brand new car for the price you would pay on iPhone here in Brazil. And third, iPhones are absurdly, iOS actually, is absurdly restrictive on anything. You'd have zero freedom to do whatever, anything you want. If you want to simply put some MP3 files, you have to, I don't know, install iTunes, for example. I hate that sort of restriction. And customization-wise, it is more limited than Android, and Android in turn is already more limited, even though people say otherwise. It is more limited than Windows 10 Mobile in terms of customization options. There's still many features that I had on my Lumia 640 XL that I miss on Android. That's correct. G series just being stupid. Oh god, I lost my lane because I was reading chat. That's why you should not text and drive. They still have Cortana on Windows 10, but it's a separate program. It is no longer integrated into search bar below. Yes, I am aware Cortana is available on Windows, but well, it sucks. On actual Windows, she sucks. If I want to search something, I'm just going to open Google on my browser. Besides, having Cortana active all the time on Windows, especially on the taskbar, that one uses up system resources unnecessarily, even if the impact is not very good or even noticeable. There is an impact. And two, Cortana on Windows, if she is active, she is constantly phoning home, as they say. You know, it's part of the whole telemetry nonsense that Microsoft has added to Windows 10 and 11. And three, if you have the search bar enabled on your taskbar, you are losing a lot of real estate on your taskbar. And I find that to be incredibly annoying, counterproductive, and it's just impractical. Sure, you can change that to display just the magnifying glass icon, but that's still unnecessary room that is being taken on your taskbar. Besides, if I want a Bing search, because that's how Cortana does her searches on Windows, she Bings it. If I want to use Bing, I'll just go to Bing. Actually, I remember Cortana on the Windows Phone. She was actually very, very humorous. You could ask her, "Hey Cortana, do you like X thing?" and she would give you oftentimes an amusing answer. And if you asked her, she actually had a few different answers for the question, "Do you like Google?" And one of them was Google. I'm gonna quote Cortana now. She would say, if you ask her, "Hey Cortana, do you like Google?" and she would say, quote, "Google? Google? Let me Bing that," end quote. I love that. To be honest, everything about iPhone I can agree with you. However, sadly, once you try an iPhone, switching to another brand isn't as easy because you are so used to using iPhone. I don't know, man. The absurd amount of restrictions you have, plus the extreme high price you have to pay for something that, well, let's be honest, many other phones from many other brands can do just as good, if not better, than iPhone for a far lower price. Yeah, that is something that would really put a huge damper on my capability to actually agree with you if I use an iPhone, and not wanting to go back. Now, I'm gonna say this: if someone were insane enough to gift me an iPhone, for example, like say it's my birthday, for example, and they hand me a box with a brand new iPhone, I would try it. I would give it a try, especially since I actually could really use another phone as a stream deck, because the Alcatel that I have here for my deck, for Touch Portal, this thing is horrible. No, but seriously, I would try it out, but I still would. I'm pretty sure I would still have a very big resistance. One of the biggest resistance that I would still have is, well, simply file transfer. With Lumias and Windows Mobile, and Android, all you gotta do is just literally plug a USB cable to the butt of the phone, plug the other end on the PC, and voila! Just access it via Windows Explorer. I know voice recognition services like Siri and Cortana are quite useless for computers, but I think it is also quite useful for anyone that is blind or partially sighted. Yes, that is true. So long as you have it enabled for them to be always listening. But again, that's not something exclusive to iPhones. As you mentioned, Cortana, Windows Mobile already had that, as did Android. And many other phones. There are many other assistants. Hey Alexa, play Despacito. But seriously, yeah, I'm really not fond of iPhones, or Apple for that matter. Too restricted. I don't like that much restriction. By the way, where are we? Salt Lake City. Okay, I think I want to be taking the second exit then. Okay, here it is. Ah, shush with the horn. I don't honk back. A lot of things were introduced on Android and Windows phones much before iPhone introduced them. That is an absurdly truthful truth. And that is one thing that annoys me, because a lot of features that iOS has nowadays, and even has had for a few years, and even things that they are still adding as something completely new and revolutionary on new releases of iPhone, are things that have been around for literally decades on other phones, and nobody batted an eye. And because they don't know any better, and they think that it is something completely new that Apple just invented, when it is actually not true. And actually, there have been cases where the older original version was actually better than what iPhone is doing. I have never really seen Apple do anything innovative nowadays. I don't really think they actually ever did. Well, they did. What I said was a bit of an exaggeration, but when it comes to new technologies, at least from the mid 2000s to now, they're new. I find it really hard to say that they are actually making anything actually new or innovating on something. All they're doing is basically just grabbing something that already existed for a while, put up a fresh coat of paint, and just saying, hey, look at this new thing! Hey, Apple fans, buy it! You only have to sell half a kidney for this. Buy, buy, buy! And then on the next year they say, hey, here's this new thing you know you want. Come here, buy it. The one you bought last year that is still brand new and working perfectly. Well, we are going to make sure it doesn't work for much longer anymore, because we are going to send a new update and it's old now, it's outdated. You want to buy this new thing? Yeah. But yeah, like for example, I don't remember exactly what it was, but about a year or two ago, I think they launched something new in regards to the screen of the iPhone, and many people were like, "Oh my God, look at this screen! It looks amazing!" Ah! And well, thing is, the technology they were using for that quote unquote new screen was something that Samsung was already using on their phones since circa 2009, more or less. So absolutely, literally nothing new at all. Not even better, for that matter. And I do have to tell you something. I do have to say, the cameras on Lumia phones, at least the mid to higher end phones, those things, they still hold up today and still beat most of the cameras on most iPhones. I was watching a video the other day comparing the camera of the latest iPhone up until the time the video was recorded, which was probably like last year or 2 years ago, I don't remember exactly. Comparing the camera of that phone to one of the highest end Lumias, which was one of the latest before they stopped making those. The Lumia, the camera on the Lumia beats the iPhones in every single way, in every single test, in everything. And that camera was already over 10 years old, or close to that at least. And yet they launch new iPhones with new cameras and say, "Oh, look at this camera! It's amazing! It has 3 lenses now. It has now it has 4 lenses. You can record stuff in super high quality." When Lumias were already doing that sort of stuff with more quality, like almost a decade ago. That is one of the things that I don't like about Apple. They don't really innovate, and they do things that already exist and say it's new and that they are doing it first. It's just wrong. For example, Apple Watch was launched after Samsung and Fitbit already have smartwatches before them. That is another very good example. And smartphones already existed before the iPhone. Even smartphones with somewhat, at least, similar functionality in the way you use it and the interface, they already existed before the first iPhone. It was just not a standard. The only thing the iPhone actually did was set a standard. Nowadays, it just had more cameras and call it a day. Yeah, like BMW, when they make a new car, all they do is just increase the size of the grille. It will come a day when the whole car is just one single radiator grille with wheels. But jokes aside. Yeah, I see videos talking about the latest releases of iPhone. Sometimes I watch those just to see what's going on, and I'm like, okay, what's the big deal about this new launch? Other phones are already doing these things. So really, I really don't understand the hype. Others are already doing those things. Some are doing all the things really. And better for less money. I know Apple is absolutely horrible with innovation, but I personally give them hats off for their marketing approach. They do a pretty good job with marketing, which is why Apple is popular. People might want to throw rocks at me for what I am about to say, and I might be saying this out of ignorance, so I do apologize. I do not mean any offense to anyone. I honestly don't. But as an outsider, the way I see it is basically their marketing is just, I don't know, it's for the fanboys. At least here in Brazil, my country, people who have an iPhone, they do it mostly out of status. My brother bought an iPhone. For example, mostly out of status. my phone, my current phone, can do pretty much the exact same things as his iPhone does, and I paid like half a price for this thing. My phone is not even high end. My phone is a mid-range, and by today's standards, it is actually now low end because I bought this thing what 3 years ago, more or less. Yeah, I bought it just a handful of months before Microsoft dropped support for Windows 10 Mobile completely. And because at least at the time I needed WhatsApp for work, and WhatsApp was also dropping support for Windows 10 Mobile, then I had to switch phones to and go to Android, so I could keep using WhatsApp. Otherwise, I would still be using my Lumia. I'm going to stop here for some fuel, and also to take a look at the map to see where the hell I am, because I have no idea where I am. I might be heading north right now when I actually wanted to go west. So let's take a quick stop here. It's a hard truth, but exactly. You literally nowadays, and it's really sad, but the possessions you have are a way to show off status. Yeah, I hate that. Apple always market their products as a premium product, and most people just buy products to show off. That's literally what they are, at least how I see it. Because as I said, you can literally go into a store and buy a phone from literally any other brand. You can buy the highest end or some high end. You know, point is, you can literally go into any store, buy whatever phone you want from other brand, and I assure you that thing is going to cost a lot less. It is probably going to have a better camera, and in terms of features, it is likely going to have at least about half, more than half, of what iPhone does. Because honestly, pretty much all smartphones nowadays are pretty much the same. Pardon me. Pretty much all smartphones nowadays are pretty much the same. All that's different between one of the other, and including iPhones in this, is just a few more features here, a little few features there, but overall they all do the exact same things, just a bit differently. So yes, I can assure you can go into any store and buy any high-end phone. You're going to be getting a phone that does as many things as well, if not more, and is as powerful or even more powerful, and definitely that it has a better camera than an iPhone for far less than an iPhone. Even better, it is better buying secondhand, good for the environment. That is another thing that I hate about Apple. Their insistence in removing extremely useful things from their phones, all in the name of, quote unquote, we are saving the environment. It's bullcrap. Removable batteries are a great thing to have. The other brands, they were not making phones without removable batteries until Apple started doing it. And removable batteries are a good thing on phones because, well, there's a few reasons, but one of them, it's because it's good for the environment. Because if the battery on your sorry, oh my god, I can't talk. If the battery on your iPhone dies, you are out of luck. You cannot have that battery replaced, not easily anyway. And especially since Apple, they really do not support that users are able to fix their devices. So you basically, if something breaks down on your phone, you have to throw the whole thing away and buy a new one. That is bad for the environment, because now you have a whole battery out there to cause pollution. But they are recycled. No, not all of them. You're going to be having far less batteries in other what is the word? Environmentally harmful components. You're going to have far less of those out in the wild if you are able to fix your phone easily. Like all Lumias actually, they had removable batteries. If a battery on a Lumia dies, you just replace the battery. Your phone is working fine, just keep using the phone, just buy a new battery. And that also makes it far easier to save the battery for recycling. Another thing they removed, headphone jack. Why? There's no point. Because now, if you are an iPhone user, unless you spend money to buy their proprietary proprietary is the word, yes, to buy their own earphones, which is an extra cost because you are going to be buying an extra thing which can cause pollution, you are still bound to your old headphones, for example, with a jack. And that is another thing. If you already had one of those and you buy another phone that has a jack port, you just keep using your same phone, especially your same headphone. I mean, earphone rather, especially if it is a good one. So you don't have to spend extra money, and you don't generate more e-waste. And same thing now with the chargers, because Apple decided they are not going to include chargers with their new iPhones. And they say, oh, it's because, well, let's produce less e-waste. People just have to reuse their old chargers. Well, not everyone has a charger. It's like, especially new users. Like me, for example, if I wanted to buy a brand new iPhone now, if I could afford one, of course, it would come without a charger. I would have to spend an extra premium, mind you, because those things are not cheap, to buy a charger. That's so stupid. Meanwhile, if I have to replace my current phone, this Asus, for example, I can just keep using the charger from this Asus on my new phone. 100% certain that I can. Well, 90% certain, because these are standard nowadays. So yeah, these things that Apple does in, removing things from their phones and say, oh, we are saving the environment. No, that's not it. That's just an excuse to fool ignorant people. All they're doing is actually things to try and make them more money. Because it costs almost nothing for them to make a charger and include that in the box. It literally costs almost nothing for them. The problem with buying straight from Apple brand new is that the parts are manufactured causing more pollution than reuse a second-hand phone. Yeah, and they don't, I could be wrong with this, but as far as I heard, they do not like that you resell iPhones. They really want you to just throw your old phone away and buy a brand new one. Apparently Brazil did fine Apple for selling phones without a charger. We did. We didn't just fine Apple for doing that. But currently, I believe it is still an ongoing thing. Apple is actually forbidden to sell new iPhones in Brazil unless they include a charger in the box. That is an actual thing. and it is a good move. Because one... Oh, my game froze. Oh, there we go, back. It is a good thing because one, it protects the consumer, you, because you don't have to spend extra money on buy a charger, so you can use the phone you just spent a lot of money to buy. And two, it helps reduce e-waste because you're not gonna get extra stuff that you wouldn't actually need if it already came in the box. Now, sure, if you are already an iPhone user, oh, what's with these stutters? If you are an iPhone user already, even here in Brazil, you probably already does have a charger, which you can still keep using. But it's still ideal that they come with chargers in the box. Because even people who already have a charger, they could very easily just keep the new one as a reserve, as an extra, or even do the other way around. use the old one as a reserve in case the new one, I don't know, for some reason breaks down or they lose it or something like that. Anyway, they keep it at home. That's one last thing. But where am I? I am not going where I was expecting to go. Hang on, this place looks kind of nice actually. I'm gonna find a stop here to stop. Now let's take a look around. But yeah, it does help reduce e-waste. The less things you have to buy for your device, the less trash you are going to be generating in the near future. It's simple as that. Plus, the EU now require Apple to use Type-C cables, which I also feel good move from the EU. That is another thing. Apple really wants to lock people into their very extremely enclosed environment. Expensive environment, I must add. While everyone is using USB, micro USB or USB Type-C, Apple is always making these new different connectors. And as far as I am aware, actually, they still use, even the newest one, it still uses USB 2.0. The USB 2.0 standard internally. The connector is different, but internally it is still USB 2.0, while everyone else is already on USB 3.0, 3.1, 3.5, 3. Whatever. There's a bunch of cars down here. Oh damn! It's a dam! You know what the fish says when it hits its head on a piece of concrete? It says, damn. Okay, how did I get here? This place looks pretty. Where are we? Ah, I see. Okay, so I meant to go east, but I'm actually going northeast. Oh, that's fine. I am... Oh, there's a viewing point here. Let's go there. Apple unfortunately are trying to look for a way to punish those using Type-C cables by intentionally slowing down charging for non-Apple cables. That is a predatory and harmful practice. Sorry, trader. My bad. And that is one of the things that really turns me away from Apple. Question, where's the exit of this place? Oh, there it is. But yeah, their practices, I really don't like them. Like seriously, what's so wrong with having a headphone jack? Honestly, what's so wrong with having a headphone jack on your phone? Is it because of the potential electric interference that some phones might cause, which might cause that, you know, that little buzzing? You can buy a USB phone, USB earphone if you want to avoid that. I never had that problem on my phones, for the record. And unless you want to spend a premium on a high-end earphone, you can very cheaply buy those earphones with jack connectors. So really, what's so wrong with having a jack port on the phone? What's so wrong with having a USB Type-C or even micro USB? I know most phones nowadays don't use that standard anymore, but still. It still works for the point. Seriously, what's so wrong? USB-C and micro USB is everywhere. Anyone can buy it for very cheap on any store. Why charge a super high premium on something that you are going to be using on only one single device for most likely? It's stupid. All of this they do to try and lock their users in their environment and make them as much money as possible. And I think I missed the viewing point. I am going backwards. Where am I going? I am rambling about the iPhone and crapping all over it. I don't even know where I am going. How did I turn around? when I was going when I was going this way. How did that happen? Wait. Ah. Huh? Wait, where did I came from? First of all. Where did I come from? I came from St. George. I do remember driving by... Wait, did I even go to Salt Lake City? Yeah, I must have. Okay. Okay. So I did this. I went around, and then I went down here. Ah, that's what I did. Okay. I thought I was going all the way from this direction to here. I had my iPhone 7 for about 4 years until my storage filled up. That's another thing I hate. You don't have the ability to expand the storage on iPhones. You have that on Lumias and most, if not all, Android phones. All you gotta do is just insert an SD card. That's it. Literally, that's it. Build up. It turns out it's because Apple has another storage bit, which they fill up to make you buy another iPhone. So unethical in many ways. It is. But yeah, that's... I don't know, man. I just find iPhones stupid. I get the appeal. I get it. Okay? Would I buy one myself if I could afford one, if I had the money? No, I wouldn't, but I get it. But that doesn't excuse it. It doesn't excuse any of it. Not at all, not one bit. My engine died. Weird. I'm gonna do a U-turn here, because I still want to go to Colorado. Although... Hang on. Actually, I can keep going this way and then simply turn left towards Rangeley. And then go here and then head north. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that instead. But it is very unethical, and considering the reasons they give the users as to why they're doing these things, wow, it's completely unnecessary, because the truth is, yeah, and you don't even have to think much about it. The truth is, the reasons they give you are actually lies. In practice, the only actual reasons because they just want more money, and that's it. Now, somewhat unrelated, but still really stupid. You know another thing that I hate about Apple? Who the hell had the quote-unquote brilliant idea to make a notch on the top of the screen and have that thing in the way? That is so ridiculously stupid. Actually, when I was researching to buy my current Asus phone, I actively researched and looked for all the models I could possibly afford. I looked specifically for one that did not have a notch. But Mike, the notch removes the need for bezels. Who cares? I'd rather have my entire screen. I paid for the entire screen. I want to use the entire screen, frick. I don't care for the little bar on the top where the front camera is going to be hiding. I don't mind that. Or even the speaker. It still needs to have a hole for the speaker. But still, just don't puncture a hole on the screen or make a cut like a kid who is using scissors on a school project. That's so dumb. Anyway, that rustled my jimmies. Oh man, Lumia's for the win. Also, the interface on Windows 10 Mobile, that was such a good interface. The only thing that I've managed to find that gets as close to being as functionally useful and practical as Windows 10 Mobile's interface on Android, the closest thing is the Microsoft Launcher for Android. But even that still leaves a lot to be desired. There's a pink dinosaur over there. But even that leaves a lot to be desired if I am to compare that to my Lumia. Man, I miss Lumia. I miss Windows 10 Mobile. I couldn't install Windows 10 Mobile for some reason. I was stuck on Windows 8.1, which I absolutely hated. Oh yes, Windows 10 Mobile was much better than Windows 8.1. Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8.1. My Lumia came with Windows 8.1 from factory, but thankfully it was eligible for an upgrade to Windows 10 Mobile, which I upgraded. And I love the heck out of that operating system on that phone. Best mobile OS in my opinion. Best one. But why couldn't you install? Wasn't your phone eligible to run Windows 10 Mobile by default? Because sure, some models were not compatible, but I believe most, at least of the latest ones, were. Even the low end ones. I also have a Lumia 430, I believe, and that little thing also could run Windows 10 Mobile. I have two Lumias. That's how much I like them. Although I bought the 430 mostly because at the time I could afford it, wasn't very expensive, and because, well, I like Lumias, but also because I wanted a spare phone. Not that I actually use that phone much. I was going to jailbreak it, but I didn't want to break it. Yeah, jailbreak Lumias is possible. I just have no idea how it's done. Thankfully, I never needed to do that. That's another thing that I hate about Android, for example, that Windows 10 Mobile did so much better. You could uninstall pretty much anything in the operating system. Like for example, both my Lumias, they came with the Facebook application pre-installed. I just gave the command uninstall and it uninstalled. On Android, you can't. It says, no, this is a system application. Your system might stop working if you uninstall this. You can't uninstall this, so you can't uninstall it unless you jailbreak. On Windows 10 Mobile, if you didn't want something, unless it was actually necessary for the system, you could uninstall literally anything. You could uninstall even the camera application. You could uninstall even the phone application, the thing that you would need to use to dial the numbers to make a phone call. You couldn't uninstall that. You could uninstall literally everything. Unless the operating system actually needed that, you could remove it. You had plenty of freedom to do whatever you wanted with your phone. You can do that. Seriously. Why make Facebook not something that you cannot uninstall? That's so stupid. Facebook, Instagram, why? That rustles my jimmies. I don't know why I'm using that old meme. The 635 was eligible, but the 630 wasn't. And which one did you have? The 365? I mean the 635 or the 630? You know what? It is, if possible, to build a PC. What if it's possible to build a new phone? Oh, I had the 630. Oh, so that's why you couldn't install it then. I mean, I don't know if it is still a thing, but a few years ago there was this project from a startup to launch a modular phone. A phone that you could literally swap any parts, any components rather, that you wanted. Kind of like you would be able to with a desktop PC, for example. I don't know if the project is still happening though. It was good, but it did not have any mobile data capabilities. The 630 didn't have mobile data capability? Seriously? The one thing that I would run into some issues with if I was still using my Lumia nowadays is that because now it is an old phone, I think that one was launched in 2015, it only supports up to 3G, so it doesn't support 4G or 5G. My current SIM card only goes up to 4G. It can work. It does work on my Lumia, but it functions in 3G. Not really a big deal because I don't really use mobile data much. Actually, every time that I check rather the status on the status on my plan. It always shows that I have barely used 1% of my mobile data plan. I don't use on a whole month. I never use even 1%. Nope. You can call or text and connect to Wi-Fi, but cannot use mobile data. Wow. I mean, it's got to be a hardware limitation then, because if it run Windows Phone 8 or 8.1, then it should have been able to have mobile data. Switch to this lane over here. I actually thought being on the left lane was meant going into another street or something. By the way, I think I'm going to make a quick stop here somewhere and take a look around, because this town looks lovely. Well, not really this part of town, but the one I was at just now. Let's turn here. And let's stop here. Whoop. There we go. Let's park next to this pickup truck. Actually, I researched it. You can only use 3G, but my SIM card did not allow for mobile data back then. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, I had 3G and mobile data on my Lumia 640, and actually also on my 430. But yeah, it helped that my SIM card allowed for that. You know, here's one of the many things that I really enjoy about American Truck Simulator. This town, if you look on the map, it is minuscule. It might as well not exist. But if you actually just look around, it looks like an actual town. It looks like you could go anywhere here. It feels real. Unlike most places on Euro Truck Simulator 2, that if it is a two-street town, it also looks like a two-street town. It looks bland, dead. Ooh, donuts. I think they are closed. There's nobody here. Hey, you were selling some hot corn dogs? Huh. Never tried those. Sir, I don't mean to offend you, but your food seems a bit flat. I'm not hungry, thank you. Let's go back to the car. Where did I park? I may have lost my car. I know I can just press 1 and then head back to the cabin, but I would like to just fly there. Oh, look at this place here. Oh, Oh, this looks lovely. What is this place? It's beautiful. It looks really pretty. What is this? Can I drive here? Ooh. Can I go there with my car? I gotta try this. I gotta try this. I gotta try it. I am 100% sure there's going to be an invisible wall right here. But I gotta try it. But first, I gotta find my car. Hold on, I hear its horn. Car, where are you? Oh, there it is. Back in high school, maybe around 2013, most people there had a smartphone, while I still had a basic phone. Same thing here. You get loads of people switches showing off, but I didn't give a crap because it never changes anything. Right? To be honest with you, I don't actually need a smartphone. The only thing that I actually use my phone for is, besides making phone calls, of course, is listening to music and taking photos. That's about it. I actually have no idea how to spend my whole day texting people. I don't like social networks. Sure, I have Discord. But at best, I just occasionally check a few messages on the go. And when I say occasionally, I literally mean occasionally. I am, unlike most people, I barely touch my phone all day. Like right now, for example, my phone is just sitting on my desk here. When I go out, I just put my phone on my pockets. I don't even enable mobile data. I just put it in my pockets and I never touch it until I get back home, or unless I actually have to check something on my phone. Like, for example, check how much money is available in the bank account. So if we can afford, like, for example, I don't know, groceries. If I need to make a phone call, or if I want to take a photo of something, for example. Otherwise, I don't touch my phone. I never do. Of course, I also use it as an alarm clock. Which, by the way, Android, you can't. Excuse me. You can't use it as an alarm clock if you turn it off. You could do that with Windows 10 Mobile. Yeah, I knew there was an invisible wall here. At least it is a little farther away than I thought it was going to be. But get loads showing off. I might switch to a Google Pixel or Samsung on my next contract in 2 to 3 years if Apple does not survive. I did hear a few good things about Google Pixel. You know something that you should look for if you are going to switch to Android? Look for a phone that has the least amount of bloatware. Most Android phones, and I do believe this does include the Google Pixel, they are chock full of bloatware. And most of it is stuff that is going to be just wasting... sorry. Hang on a second. I am focusing on this here. Okay. Most of it is stuff that you are never going to use. And it's just wasting storage. And you can't remove it unless you jailbreak the phone. So my recommendation is that you look for something that has the least amount of bloatware. Preferably something that is close to stock Android. That way you have more freedom with the stuff that you actually want in your phone. As in unnecessary software? Yes. That's the definition of bloatware. It is unnecessary software. Stuff that is there just to... essentially just to make you spend money, basically. In one way or another. Like, an example of bloatware. Why do we have the hazards on? One example of bloatware, the Facebook application. If I wanted Facebook, the Facebook app, I would go to the Google Store and download it myself. I don't need it. I don't need it to be present on my phone from factory, unable to be uninstalled, just occupying storage that could be otherwise used for by something else more important. I hate Facebook. Another thing, Google Photos. Sure, Android is made by Google, but I don't need that application. I don't need it to be a system application and be impossible to be uninstalled without jailbreaking the phone, or as it's called on Android, rooting the phone. So that's bloatware. If I wanted that, I'd just download it myself. I'm not dumb. That's another thing. These companies, they treat the user, especially Apple, they treat the user as if the user is retarded and doesn't know and barely knows how to even wipe their own butt. That is one of the reasons why they lock things like this. I hate that. My Samsung tablet has both the Google Play Store and Galaxy Store. Both do the same thing. I don't know why the hell there are two stores. The Google Store is there because Android is made by Google, and the Galaxy Store is there because your tablet is made by Samsung, and Samsung is one of the companies that most fills up their devices with bloatware. Like seriously, probably over 50% of your storage on any phone, on any Samsung phone, is definitely going to be taken up by bloatware. That is one of the reasons why I steered clear, very far away from Samsung when I was researching to buy my current phone. And I ended up buying an Asus phone. Hardware-wise, I kind of like this phone, though the screen on my Lumia 640 XL, that screen, oh my god, that is such a good screen. So much larger, so much nicer. The colors seem to be more vivid. And my god, the camera on that thing is amazing. It is older, but the photos, they look so much more colorful than the photos that I take with this Asus. And the camera on this thing is supposed to be a high-end camera, or at least close to it. It's certainly supposed to be a higher end than the camera that I have on my 640 XL. Yes, Asus. Bet you didn't know they make phones as well, huh? They do. But yeah, and the image stabilization on the camera on that Lumia is also much better than this here. And even the frame rate is much better on the Lumia than it is on this Samsung. I mean, this Asus. Asus has pretty good laptops and motherboards. They are one of the best makers if you are looking for a new motherboard. One of the best brands. Really high quality stuff. For the most part, at least. My laptop is here with me 3 years now and hasn't died on me compared to both HP and Lenovo. HP... oh, I didn't notice this. HP, at least when I was still working at a computer repair shop, HP had one very chronic and very serious problem. They would always overheat, and the soldering on the chipset, it was low quality. So over time, usually within the span of about a year or two, the soldering, the connections on the chipset, they would melt down, and that would kill the motherboard. It was possible to resolder them. And the store that I worked at actually did that service for a while, but it just wasn't worth it. Because the problem would just return in even less time, and it was a very laborious job and expensive too. So eventually they stopped doing that service, that repair services. Look at this town. This is lovely. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Look at how small it is on the map in terms of where you can actually drive. And yet, if you look around, it looks much bigger. It looks like you can go anywhere. Oh, wings. Nice. It actually feels like a town. I love this. There's a guy working over there. Oh, this is beautiful. Hang on a second. I really wish I could visit little towns like this in real life someday. I don't know if I would like to live in one of these little towns, but I definitely would like to visit them. It's adorable. But yeah, Asus has a very good reputation when it comes to quality of their hardware, which is one of the reasons why I decided to why I chose this Asus. It was within my budget. It is not a high-end phone, even when it was new. I believe this here was mid-range, probably, when I bought it. But yeah, it was affordable. It had good reviews. One of the things that really drew me towards it was the lack of bloatware. It did come with some bloatware, but compared to other models that I checked, far less bloatware. By the way, I was supposed to turn north over here. I missed that. It's fine. And yeah, but still, if I could, I'd still be rocking my Lumia 640. God, such a good phone that is. I really miss using Windows 10 Mobile. And that Lumia. And it has a jack port. Shush with a horn. It has a phone jack and a removable battery. I am not going to honk back. That's not how you greet. Flash or high beams like this. That's how you do it. Stop! If you want me to honk back, pay me. No! I'm not going to honk. No. You're not going to make me honk. Not to say hello. I am not going to do it. Nuh-uh. I can go whoop whoop. But I'm not going to honk. There we go. Happy now? Oh my god, look at this place here. Oh, I love it. This is beautiful, guys. HP I absolutely hate the most. Yeah, I don't recommend HP. Not for laptops, at least. My HP died on me after 1 year of service because one corner of my laptop swelled up, causing damage to the display and battery. Eesh. Wait. The laptop itself swelled? It wasn't the battery that swelled? By the way, can we have removable batteries back on laptops, please? Thank you very much. It's so stupid not being able to remove the battery. Yeah. The laptop itself, yes, I presume it came from the battery. Yeah, it must have come from the battery. The battery must have swollen because I never heard, even low quality laptops, I never heard of the laptop itself swelling up. It can only do that if something inside is forcing it outwards. And it's usually the battery. Now, you want to know a brand of laptop that you should avoid at all costs because of how crap it is? I bet you cannot possibly, excuse me, I bet you cannot possibly guess which brand it is. And they don't make just laptops, they also make smartphones, desktop computers, and some other devices. Tablets also. I'll give you 3 chances to try and guess this brand correctly. I'll give you a hint. You are not going to find them in the United States or Europe, possibly. The battery is located too close to the display, so the display is black screen now. Oh god, that sucks. I've replaced screens on laptops before. It is not a difficult job, but it is definitely one that I never enjoyed. In other words, it sucks. It really sucks. Especially when the laptop is not serviceable, service-friendly. You know, built to not be serviceable. Like iPhones. And Macs. Acer, no, Acer is actually a decent brand. Not as good as Asus. Certainly not as good as MSI, for example. But they are fine. They're fine, at least a few years ago. I don't know how they are doing nowadays. But no, it's not Acer. No, also not Lenovo. Lenovo is... it has its problems, but it's not as bad. I mean, it's not as good as Acer, I think. But it's not the one that I'm thinking of. It's not the one that you're trying to guess. So let's go. One last try. I had a pretty bad experience with a Lenovo computer. Kept switching off after 1 year of service. By itself, like, it would just shut off as if you cut off power, or it would terminate Windows. You know, go through the shutdown process and then actually shut down. It could be a defective connector on the chipset, for example. Something that HP is very, very prone to have. Well, I have no idea, to be honest. Alright, I don't know where I am, where I'm going, but I'm going to turn left here. Yeah. Oh, wait. I can't. What? Wait a second. Oh, here! Oh! It's on the map. But for some reason, I did not see that. Well. Okay, then, no problem. All I gotta do is gently reverse very slowly and carefully here on the shoulder. That's enough. Just shut off. You hear a small click when the whole thing just stops. Wouldn't that click be the hard drive hitting the head? I don't know. It's not Samsung. I don't know how good or bad they are laptop wise. I never even worked on Samsung laptops before. I know they make them, but at least here those are not very popular. But no, it's not Samsung. It's a brand called Positivo. You know, the word positive, except it's in Portuguese. It is a Brazilian brand. They have been around for decades now, and their stuff is garbage. And they also own other brands under their umbrella, and those manage to be even worse in terms of quality. most of the laptops that I have ever seen at the repair shop when I used to work on one. Anyway, most of them were with hardware problems. They were positivos, and all of them were barely a year old, and all of them perished by themselves. The quality of the keyboard was terrible, the quality of the touchpad was terrible, the quality of the screen was terrible, everything was terrible. The body was very flimsy. Horrible, horrible, horrible hardware. But you know why? One thing that I have discovered about Positivo, they don't actually make their hardware. No. All they do is buy crappy stuff from China and slap their brand on top of it. A couple years ago, they were selling a laptop that wasn't actually a laptop. It was actually a tablet hardware inside the body of, oh god, inside the body of a laptop. Literally, it was running Android, a tablet Android. And if you opened it, you would have just one teeny tiny tablet motherboard and one teeny tiny tablet battery. And the thing weighs like paper. And it had a Netflix key on the keyboard. I kid you not, that's a real thing. Samsung are not big on laptops. Yeah, I wouldn't really know. I'm not very familiar with their laptops. But yeah, Positivo. If you ever see one in the wild, unless you're super curious, or you're going to make a video that is going to get you lots of views, like those videos where they explore some weird hardware, then stay clear from those things. They are a huge waste of money. You are going to be paying very little, relatively speaking, in terms of actual amount of money. But for that money, you would be far better off if you're going to buy something from other brands, especially if you are going to be buying something from Asus. I stopped here on the side of the road because I am going to go on Google and show you a picture of one of those crap laptops that I'm telling you about. Give me just a moment here. Just a second. Here it is. I'm going to put the desktop on the screen. There we go. See this key here? This key here? Oh, this one is newer. It has a key for Deezer and YouTube. And I've seen some of these for sale in the wild, in actual stores, in person. Why a Netflix button? Why a Deezer button? Why a YouTube button? Why a call button? Why anything? Let me pause the music. Let me see what this guy is saying about this. Let's take a quick look. I'm not gonna play the whole video.
Com o lançamento do
This here is by Qual Notebook Comprar. That's the YouTube channel.
Windows 11, muita gente está correndo para atualizar os seus notebooks. E a Microsoft Brasil você exigir tanto assim. 3,9 centímetros de largura por 22 centímetros de profundidade.
That's
a espessura
dimensions.
é de 1,87 centímetro. O peso também é bem bacana, com apenas um USB do tipo A 3.0
USB
e a conexão
Type
HDMI
A.
para monitor externo. Indo para o lado direito, a gente tem um leitor de
Only
cartões
two
micro
USB
SD,
ports.
um combo de áudio, fone e microfone. Descrição no primeiro comentário do fabricante
Let me
chama,
see if he is going to
que é
address
aquele
the
se inscrevendo e
the
ativando
Netflix
o sino.
key.
Se é algo que a fabricante gosta de destacar são as teclas
there
especiais.
they are.
Netflix, Deezer, YouTube e Call, que significa chamada em inglês.
Why?
E ela é utilizada em videoconferências. Aqui no cantinho esquerdo tem o logotipo da Positivo, em
Here we
baixo
get
relevo
the
e a
specs.
etiqueta com a
There they are.
configuração.
Okay, this video review is from about a year ago.
Logotipo
The
da
specs
Positivo,
of this thing.
em baixo relevo e a etiqueta.
Dual core. This is 100% a Pentium dual core. It's not even a Core i3. It's a Pentium dual core. Whenever, that's one thing that Positivo always did. They actually, it might not even be a Pentium. It might be a Celeron dual core. They don't say it is a Celeron, because Celeron is crap usually, especially on laptops. They just announce it as dual core. Oh, it has 2 cores. It's super fast. But I assure you, this thing does not go even, probably not even to 1.5 gigahertz. It only has 120 gigabytes of storage, only 4 gigabytes of RAM. This thing has super crap specs to be running Windows 11 and to be something launched about a year ago. And I assure you, the price of this thing, the amount of money you would be spending on these specs here, you could be buying something 2 or 3 times better than this from even Asus, for example. At least it has USB Type A as compared to Apple with their Thunderbolt USBs only, right? And fun fact, actually, although I could be wrong with this, but as far as I heard, Thunderbolt is actually USB 2.0.
Com a configuração.
Let's see if he's going to mention the price.
O touchpad surpreendeu pelo tamanho, que é bem acima da média, modelo
Blah, blah, blah.
equipado com o super popular Intel Celeron
There it is.
4020.
Told you it
Vem
was
com
a
4 GB
Celeron.
de memória RAM do tipo LPDDR4, soldada. É um hardware modesto.
Look at the size of that motherboard. This is not a proper laptop motherboard. This thing is a tablet that is somehow running Windows.
Esse tipo já de fábrica. O mais comum
Let's see if he's
é
going to
a
mention the
parte
price.
do funcionamento do notebook. Testes de desempenho, de bateria, todo mundo fica muito feliz aqui.
Come on, dude.
Compras e a tela.
Okay, he didn't say the price, but we can find out. We can find out. Let's hit play on the music. Let's see. This thing is called Positivo Motion C, yeah? That processor is still a thing? It is still a thing. It is. Even now on generation, whatever the latest generation of the Core family of Intel is. I lost track. Okay, let's see. Motion C. Presumably, it is on sale from 2,799 reais. This might not be the exact same model the guy was showing in the video, but it is definitely a similar one. Presumably right now on their own website, it is on sale from 2,799 for 1,034. Now, if you just simply convert this from Brazilian reais to dollar, it is going to obviously be a much lower price, and you are probably going to say, that's not that much money. But the way you have to read the prices in Brazil, in reais, to get an actual idea of how much this actually really costs, how expensive these things really are for us here, you have to think of it as $1,034 instead of reais, or in this case here, $2,799. And mind you, for 2,800, really, I promise you, you can buy far better stuff here in Brazil than this. And I bet you this thing is not going to last 2-3 years at best. By the way, one of the images rather, the guy showed on that video, let's go back to the game. You know, the internals, that thing was using a hard drive for the boot drive and storage. That wasn't an SSD. I'm pretty sure that wasn't an SSD. Never heard an Intel Celeron for ages. Yeah, they probably are not very common in Europe or in the United States or Canada, because of how low end those processors are. They are more common on, how can I say this politely? on lower income countries. Let's just say it. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, that brand there, if you ever see that thing, that brand on anything, unless you intentionally want to see how crap it is and maybe make a video on how crap it is to get lots of views and maybe make money out of that video, run away from it. Do like Sir Lancelot on Monty Python's and the Holy Grail. Run away! Run away! Yeah, it's a terrible brand. Really awful quality. Oh, there's a viewing point here. I'm not gonna stop. My first PC had a Celeron. It was the E-Machines, which was running Windows XP. My family's very first computer also was a Celeron, though it wasn't made by Acer, you know, an E-Machine. It was made by a brand that I actually don't think exists anymore. It was called Metron. It was an Intel Celeron running at 566 megahertz. It had a 6.5 gigabytes hard drive and only 32 megabytes of RAM. It was SD RAM also, not even DDR yet. I don't think DDR RAM existed yet. And it was running Windows Millennium Edition. I actually do like Windows Me. Oh god. Good thing there's nobody here. I don't know where I am, but for the record. Oh god. What is wrong with me? It's the second time that I go into the wrong way. Jesus. By the way, I still have that computer and it still works. I just have no idea where its original hard drive went. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen that hard drive in ages. But the computer itself works. Eventually we upgraded to a Pentium 3 800 megahertz and 380 something megabytes of RAM and Windows XP. Though it was a little bit of a trip until we finally landed on Windows XP on that computer. It started life with Windows Millennium, then for some reason it got downgraded to Windows 95. Then we used Windows 2000 on it for a while. Then we used Windows 98. And I don't remember if we went back to Millennium after 98. I think we did for a short while. We might have gone back to Windows 2000 after that also for a short while, or back to 98. Actually, I think it was back to 98. Until we finally got upgraded to Windows XP. Which, to be honest, was very sluggish on that computer. Because the specs simply were not exactly actually up to the task. I mean, it met the minimal requirements. It's just that those specs were not really what Windows XP was actually comfortable with, so it was a slow computer. Oh, the storage also got upgraded. It got retired with a whopping 80 gigabytes hard drive. Actually, I lied. At one point, when it was pretty much mostly just my computer, I was already a computer technician at the time. It was still my very early years. I upgraded it to a 250 gigabytes hard drive. Wait, did I? No, I'm thinking of my own first computer. Because I don't think they ever made any 250 gigabytes hard drives that were compatible with IDE flat cables, only with SATA cables. So yeah, that computer must have ended its life. I mean, must have been retired with only up to 80 gigabytes in the hard drive, because it didn't have SATA, only IDE. My favorite game on XP was Pinball. Who never? Well, me actually. I hardly ever played Pinball or Space Cadet on XP, or any other Windows version for that matter. Not that I didn't know it existed, it's simply that, just, I don't know, for some reason I never really liked it as much as most people do. So I get the nostalgia, but I don't feel the nostalgia for that game. My favorite game on that era, on that computer even, my favorite games, I don't think I can say this with only one game. So let's make a top 3, no particular order. It was Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed 2 Second Edition, which I still have both of them, and King of the Road, you know, Hard Truck 2, which is what got me into playing Euro Truck Simulator 2 and eventually American Truck Simulator. That's the game that got me into trucking games. It's such a fun game. I actually played it on stream just last week. It's a super fun game. I was very sad when I managed to afford buying me a brand new computer back in 2009 / very early 2010. It was my Core i5 that I used up until July of 2021. That was, by the way, a Generation 1 Core i5, and I used it for about 11-12 years more or less, up until that point. But anyway, when I bought it, it was new. It took me about a year to be able to afford all the parts and eventually finally build the computer. But anyway, I was sad that King of the Road simply does not run on Windows 7 at all. I never could get it to run to work on 7, and I went from Windows XP on my Atom 2000 computer, which was what I had before the i5, and after the Pentium 3 / Celeron that I just mentioned, I went from Windows XP straight into Windows 7. And I barely knew anything about Windows 7 at that time. All I knew is that it was brand new, and what actually I usually say that I fell in love with Windows 7 at first click. You know how people say love at first sight? Well, with Windows 7, in my case, it was love at first click. There's one day at this computer repair shop that I used to work on at the time, a client arrived with parts for a brand new computer and a fresh new copy of Windows 7 Ultimate, and he asked us to build the computer. Actually no, he bought the parts with us. He only brought the copy of Windows. He bought the computer and had us build it, and he wanted us to install Windows 7. I had never even tried a demo of Windows 7, a beta, anything. I barely have ever seen screenshots, and no problem, Ash. I barely have ever seen even screenshots of the thing. And thank God, the task to build his computer and set it up fell on my lap. So I built his computer, I installed Windows 7, and I kid you not, even with just the setup process, I loved 7. It was incredible, so much better than everything that I had worked on before. XP, 98, Vista. Even though it was similar to Vista, it was so much better at the same time. And set up the whole thing, you know, configure the actual operating system, the features, the configurations, everything. I loved that. And that's the moment when I told myself, you know what? When I can afford a new computer to upgrade, because my current computer at the time, the Atom XP 2000 that I had, it could not run Windows 7. Well, it could, but it would be super incredibly slow. So I told myself that when I could upgrade, I would migrate from XP to 7. Because I had skipped Vista. For one, the computer that I had at the time would not be able to run Vista, not decently anyway. And 2, I forgot what 2 was. But point is, I told myself that I would upgrade to 7, and when I finally got my Core i5 set up and running, I installed 7, and I never changed. I never migrated out of it until I built my current computer that I am using right now, which I only oh, there's a rest stop. Which I only installed Windows 10 and started using Windows 10 because of driver support. The motherboard and other hardware on this computer, they do not support Windows XP, Windows 7, and XP, of course. So I had to install Windows 10. Otherwise, I would still be running Windows 7 right now. I promise you, I actually would. At least until browsers and Steam would stop functioning. Then I would have no choice but to actually migrate over to 10. But yeah, it was love at first click. And you know what they say? You'll never forget your first love. Hey, I made it to the area where I wanted to go, and I had no idea where I was going. I'll go to Sterling and park there. Yeah. Oh, have I bought this garage? I don't think I bought this garage yet. Good opportunity to buy that garage. How the fuck do I get out of here? Okay, turn around and go left. Easy. There should be... Yep, there we go. Here's the exit. And throughout all of those years that I used Windows 7 on that Core i5, I never ever had any problems with that. The only one time that I had to format the computer and install a fresh copy of Windows 7 was in... What year was it? I think it was 2013 or 12 maybe. But the only reason why I had to install Windows 7 from scratch again, you know, format it, is because my house at the time had some issues with the electrical wiring. So it was causing a few random surges, and one of those surges one day killed the power supply and the graphics card as well as my boot drive, which at the time was a hard drive, but still, it was a boot drive. So I had to buy a new hard drive for the boot drive and install Windows again. But ever since this one install on the new hard drive, I never needed to format that computer, ever. From the first boot after I made the new install because of the new hard drive, until the very last time I booted it, when I was already with all the parts for my current computer, which is a Ryzen 5 5600X, it never stopped working. It never gave me any problems. It always ran perfectly smoothly, just as quickly, just as fast as it was on the first day of install. The only times it showed any slowness was with more demanding programs, but that was not a fault of the operating system, it was a fault of the hardware itself, which at that point was already becoming very outdated. Like, I couldn't stream Phasmophobia, for example, because of how limited the hardware was already at that point in time. The game itself would run mostly fine on my screen, but on OBS and the stream itself, it was a literal slideshow. It wasn't playable on stream, but it was because of the processor. It was just too old at that point. So yeah, unfortunately I had to upgrade it. And that's also when I had to say goodbye to 7. But, as I said, up until that point I should have taken an exit there. Frick. Up until that point, it never gave me any problems. Which is not to say I didn't have a few blue screens over the years, but to be honest, I was to blame for those, so not the OS. They only ever happened when I was actually messing with stuff I was not supposed to. So there's that. But yeah, otherwise, by itself, it always worked flawlessly. I am going to make an illegal U-turn. But I'm going to be making this very carefully. Alright, there's nobody coming. Alright, that's clear. Let's go. But yeah, I went on a tangent there, sorry. What I was saying is that sadly King of the Road doesn't run on Windows 7. I tried several patches that I found on the internet over the years, but I never could get any of them to work. The only time I could get King of the Road to run on 7 and Windows 10 was when I discovered that GOG.com sells a copy of King of the Road. And theirs is already patched to run on modern Windows, so, and it was super cheap also, so I bought it, and that's what I play now. I was so happy when I got to play the game again. Actually, that game is the very reason why, even many years ago, probably around 2014 or 2015, I decided to rebuild my old Athlon 2000 PC. So I did. And I installed the Windows XP, and that's how I was enjoying King of the Road for a while. Although eventually, with a few spare parts that I had lying around, and a Pentium 4 processor that I have no idea where it came from exactly, eventually I upgraded that Athlon XP, and now I have an old Pentium 4 sitting next to me here. I have streamed games from that PC before, but I hardly ever touch that one now. Or I mean ever. And especially now that I discovered that I can run Windows XP on another hard drive on my second PC, which is a Athlon X4, which is much newer. It's even newer actually than my old Core i5. So it runs much better than on the old Athlon 4, Pentium 4. And besides, it's much easier to simply turn that PC on than to hook up the Pentium 4 PC whenever I want to play something on that one. But whenever I wanted to use that PC, all I gotta do is unplug the cables from the second PC and plug them into that one. By the way, I am not sure I am in the correct town? Where am I? Where's the garage? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make a U-turn and turn right. Yes, turn right. Okay. Begin one way. I mean, I can go back here, right? Yeah, it looks like I can. Let's go. And by the way, I do highly recommend that you play King of the Road. It's a super fun game. It is old, it is a bit clunky, but I do recommend. It's a really good game. And I do dare say it is better than Hard Truck 18 Wheels of Steel. And it's also very cheap. You will find it on GOG.com. You know, good old games. It's a very good website. They do a good job in keeping old games alive. Can I get a green light, please? Otherwise, I'm gonna drink my water. Too late. I just drank my water. Okay, here's what I gotta turn. Wait, no! Ah, crap. It wasn't here. It was on the corner back there. Ah, crap. I'm lost. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a way to turn around. There's a gas station here. That should help. Hey, Riptane! Happy Wednesday or Thursday. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Oh, I should go through there. Okay, let's indicate. Check, nobody's coming. There we go. Now I can turn and go back. But hang on a minute. How do I get down there from here? Okay, I guess I should turn on the second left. Is that a green? Yes. Okay, let's turn here. Oh, actually I can turn here directly. Ah, shush with the running red light ticket. And I think I turn left here. Yes, there we go. This is the street that I should have been. That I should have been at. There we go. By the way, look at this place here. This is beautiful. I really, honestly would like to visit little towns like these in real life someday. Again, I don't know if I would like to live in some little town like these, but man, would I enjoy visiting them. Even if there's nothing to do in the town, just seeing the prettiness of the town, that would already make me happy. Even if I were to spend just a day there, just to see the place. These look really nice. There we go. Now I am on track. I think. Yeah, according to the map, I am on track. Hey, finally, I finally made it to the garage. Jeez. What an ordeal that was. Okay, yes, I really wanted to buy this garage. Thank you very much, game. And stop. There we go. Let me do a quick save and a couple manual saves. Yes, and yes. Oh, by the way, they updated some trucks, didn't they? I didn't check that. Let me see. Have they given my big boy anything new? Where's my big boy? There's my big boy. Western Star. See any new bull bar perhaps? I completely forgot I am using a bull bar on this thing. And that was already there. Maybe any new cabin accessory? Burgers. Well, I don't know. What I do know is that they did update the... something fell over there. They did update the steampunk. No, Steam something paint jobs. I'm not going to change the beautiful paint job that I have on this truck, but I do want to see what those look like on this one, because originally they were supposed to be compatible with only 2 trucks, which were the only 2 trucks that the game launched with. Age of Steam, that's one of them. It's not bad. Let's see what it looks like in green. That looks better. Of course it does, it's green. I love green. Let's see any more. Blue Rhapsody. Is not the same paint job spec? Yes, it is. Steampunk. Yeah. I don't like this one. Decked in Deco. What does this look like in green? It looks much better. Not bad. Lines of reflection. Oh, I completely forgot about this one. Alright, yeah, not bad. But I'm not changing paint jobs. No. The dragon paint job, that's where it's at. What about the Freightliner Cascadia? Has this thing gotten anything new? I should really just check the changelog. This is a beautiful truck. It's a bit chunky though, but I like it. It also sounds very nice. It is very nice. Also, I think this is the one that has the horn that sounds like a the horn that sounds like a horn. Derp. That sounds like a train. Unless it is another one. Can't remember. Oh, I completely forgot this truck is here. I still haven't driven this truck, by the way. Actually, I still haven't driven most of the trucks that I currently have. Well, anyway. I will just have to check the changelog. But I'm not going to do that right now. What I will do right now, however, is remind you guys that I stream every week on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I play trucking games every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's mostly American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator, Simulator 2, sorry. I play those interchangeably. But generally speaking, Wednesdays are reserved for just trucking games. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Fridays I play a different game every week, also at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This last Friday I played... What the fuck did I play this last Friday? You know what? I can't remember what game I played last Friday. It was fun. I had fun. Whatever it was, I had fun with it. I just can't remember what it was. But for this next Friday, I usually only decide which game to play. Like literally minutes before the stream is supposed to go live. But for this next Friday, I am thinking of playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Though I am not going to be starting a new playthrough on that. Well, first of all, that is a super long game. But second, I actually still haven't finished my first playthrough of that thing. And I got that game at launch for the Wii U also. Several years ago, and I still haven't finished the game. Yesterday, actually, I was playing a little bit of that before bed. And before I knew it, it was already 3 a.m. And I was doing absolutely nothing. I was just walking around, fighting monsters. And it's a super enjoyable game. So I think I want to play a little bit of that on stream. But I don't want to do it without any objective. And one of the reasons why, maybe the reason why I have never finished that playthrough yet, even though it's been many years, is because before I faced Ganon, which I can do already if I want to, but before I faced Ganon, I wanted to find all 900 Koroks that are spread around Hyrule. And Well, I still haven't found them. I found over 800 of them, close to 900, but I still have quite a bunch to go. So what I think I will at least try to do if I play it on this next Friday is to try and find Koroks, even if I have to use a map that shows the location of every single Korok on the map, which I might end up doing. But yeah, I am likely going to be playing Breath of the Wild this next Friday on the Gaming Friday, and if I do, that is my objective. But if you ever played Breath of the Wild, then you know that you set off to do one thing, and next thing you know, 4-5 hours have gone by with you always telling yourself, I'm gonna do the thing. Oh, what's this over here? Oh, what's this over there? Oh, let's check this real quick. And so you keep going there, you go everywhere but the thing you were actually going to, because the world they built in that game is so beautiful, it's so big, there's so many things that distract you in a good way. So yeah, the objective, find the remaining Koroks. Will I accomplish that? Most likely not, but I will see if I can try. But yeah, I'll most likely be playing Breath of the Wild this next Friday on the Gaming Friday. So remember, trucking game is every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. A different game every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern as well. And on Sundays, I do art live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the special thing about the Sunday streams is that at the moment I am experimenting with live streaming to Twitch and Picarto at the same time. So you can watch the Chill Art Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on both or either Twitch or Picarto. I have a link to my Picarto channel below the stream. It's in the Where to Find Me panel. But long story short, it's picarto.tv/MikeDragonArt. Is it that? I forget. Hold on a second. Let me confirm that. Yes, it is. www.picarto.tv/MikeDragonArt. I'm actually just gonna drop a link to it in the chat. There we go. So you can follow me on Picarto, and you can catch the Chill Art Sunday there as well. As I mentioned, it is for now an experiment. I don't know for how long I'm going to be running this experiment, but when I feel like enough time has passed and enough streams have been done on both platforms, then I would decide whether or not it is going to be worth it to still stream the Chill Art Sunday on Picarto as well. I'm not leaving Twitch, okay? But I will decide if it is going to be worth it to keep streaming to Picarto as well, and if so, if it would be worth it to also bring my gaming streams over to Picarto as well, and therefore do the WedTruckSim and the Gaming Friday on both Twitch and Picarto together at the same time, simultaneously. But as for now, only the Chill Art Sunday is available on Picarto. If you want to catch my gaming streams, Twitch over here, that's where you gotta go. So yeah, either way, follow me on both platforms if you have an account on Picarto. It helps a lot. And if you're watching this as a VOD on YouTube, then, I don't know, subscribe, I guess. But yeah, everyone, that's gonna be everything for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had some fun. Thank you so much for your company. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend when that comes around. And until we meet again on the next stream, God bless you all. Stay safe and healthy. Sleep well, and as always, dream of dragons. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Some problems and we don't know what to do. You've come to find new feelings and exactly what you knew. The odds are stacked quite poorly if without a winning hand. But bear in mind your bearing's only worse if you don't try to balancing trips because I'll turn your trips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hope on setting not to crash. So dreams can seem quite big if you don't make your plans. paradigm. We would have a hero who's supposed to be elusive and on time. Just on time. And then we would all contrive new conflicts, you know, to bet on sinking ships because they'll turn your chips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hopes and setting not to crash. The truth can seem quite bleak if you don't make your plans unfurl, but I would not let that mar my opinion on the show. To bet on sinking ships because they'll turn your chips to trash. You've got to set your sights and hopes on setting not to crash. The truth can seem quite bleak if you don't make your plans unfurl, but I would not let that mar my opinion. Stipulations placed before you to get all the things you really need. Mr. Big may make things hard, but you have got to plant your seeds. Go to war, fight more. Your dreams thrive by competition. You'll find no one famous ever got there just by flinching at their foes. Cling against the torment, claw with all your might at what you know. Don't let go, just grow. Don't wait or play to indecision. Don't bet on thinking just because you've got to be more grand. You got to think ahead and carry out the things you planned. Citrus can be your fuse when you can see where fossils lay. Don't quit on hopes or dreams when you have simply got to chin up. Don't bet on sinking ships because they'll only drag you down. You've got to keep on sailing even when you want to frown. The world will keep on turning without matter where you land. You might as well be running when your feet should hit the sand. Don't bet on sinking ships because you got to be more grand. Chin up, don't bet on sinking ships because they'll only drag you down. Chin up, don't bet on sinking ships because they'll turn your trips to trash.